Hi, I'm Sophie from Codependent Millennial. Welcome back to How to Live Your Best Codependency-Free Life in Quarantine. Today we're talking all about how to regain control over your life. Now, the reason why you're trying to control your life in the first place is because you feel that in some way it's become totally unmanageable. Maybe the people around you aren't behaving the way you'd want them to. Maybe the world just doesn't look the way you wish it would look. Maybe your career isn't going the way you'd hoped it would. The good news is that you can't control anything outside of you, and that you don't have to in order to have an amazing life that you love. Blame is never the path to happiness and peace and joy. Responsibility is. The very first thing you need to do in order to regain control over your life is to admit all of the ways in which you are completely powerless. And I know this sounds ironic and frustrating and probably a little bit terrifying if you're anything like me, but it is the most important part of this process. When you fully realize that you really don't have control over the people and the events around you happening in the world, then you can let go of obsessively trying to control these things. And then you can let go of feeling like a victim when those efforts to control don't work, because they never will on any long-term, permanent, sustainable scale. You know, some people use manipulation tactics to control the way someone thinks about them for a certain time. And like that might work for a little while, it's going to come crashing down. Same thing with other external things in life. You might try different tactics to sort of like prop up the facade of some perfect whatever, but if it's not real, it's not going to last. So release the idea that you can control everything around you to be just the way you think it should be. You're wrong, by the way. Release that belief that you can't control those things, then release the attachment to trying to control them, and then release the identity of victim when those efforts to control fall flat. Then and only then will you be able to focus your time, energy, and attention to the things you can control, which are your own thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. I'll say that again a little more simply. In order to regain control over your entire life, you need to get very clear about the small number of things that you do have control over. You need to find a way to let go mentally of all the rest, and then you need to go about the very important work of taking full responsibility for all the things you can control, so that you stop feeling like a victim when the things you can't control don't go the way you wanted them to. This is the actual work of situating your sense of confidence, of security, of certainty within yourself instead of outside of you. Remember, your well-being is not determined by your circumstances. Your well-being is determined by your thoughts. So let's take an inventory now of all the ways in which you wish your life were different, of all the things outside of you that you wish you could control. I wish I had a different relationship. I wish I had a different body or a different relationship with my body. I wish I had a different career. I wish I had different parents. I wish I had a different life. I wish I lived in a different city. I wish I lived in a different apartment. I wish I thought different thoughts about myself. I wish I had different friends. All of these different areas of your life. Now, if your thought about all of those wishes is, well, but that's impossible, then the conversation's over. But if you open up your mind to all the infinite possibilities that are available to you with the simple question, how might that be possible for me? How might I be able to create that? Then you regain full control over your life. Not control over the things outside of you that you can't control, but full control over the part that you play in creating your life. A lot of people feel frustrated and angry and victimized by the things that they have to do. They feel like they just have to do so many things in their lives. But if you look at these things, you really don't have to do any of them. Let's take a very extreme example. Feeding and clothing your children. You don't have to do that. No one's gun to your head. Like, you can choose not to and then choose to get arrested or whatever happens to parents who don't take care of their kids. You can choose to have your kids taken away. You are choosing those things. So you can apply this concept to every area of your life. So with, I wish I had a different career. You don't have to go to work. You don't have to go to work every day. You are choosing to go to work every day. So if you're unhappy going to work every day, number one, look at the thoughts that you're thinking about your job. You might be creating your own unhappiness in that job with your negative thinking. But if you're feeling called to pursue a different career, don't tell yourself it's not possible and that you have to go to this job and that you are forced to and you are a victim of it. Start opening up your mind to the ways in which you could start exploring this new career. What could be available to you if you stopped telling yourself that it wasn't? You can take back all of your personal power by reminding yourself that you are choosing to do the things that you're doing instead of lying to yourself and saying that you have to. So this would be a perfect time for you to go through your day, look at all the things you're doing that are producing less than ideal results for you, and recognize that you have full control over those actions. So if you're unhappy with your body, for example, are you treating your body with love? Are you eating in a way that respects your body? Are you moving around every day in a way that respects your body? Are you speaking to your body with love? What are you doing throughout the day to create this less than ideal relationship with your body? Look at all of those things which you have full control over and see which ones you'd like to change. What thoughts about your body would you like to change? What actions towards your body would you like to change? And then take responsibility for changing those actions. There's no power or change or possibility available to you if you don't take responsibility for the way in which you are creating your life. So I encourage you to realize that we really can't control as much as we wish we could, to realize that we actually don't have to control everything in the world in order for us to have peaceful, amazing, happy lives, and to start taking inventory of all the ways in which you can control your own experience of your life, and then to live into those responsibilities, to happily accept that responsibility so that you never ever feel like a victim ever again to any outside person or circumstance or situation, because you know that you have more control over your experience of your life than anyone else ever could. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Tonight, Thursday, April 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a live coaching call on Instagram, so tune into that. That will be an Instagram live starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you have any questions, you can always get in touch with me at sophie@codependentmillennial.com. If you feel out of control of your life, I would encourage you to schedule a free one-on-one session with me. We can talk about the ways in which you have felt out of control, and we can talk about strategies for you to take back any personal power that you've been handing to people and circumstances outside of you. This 30 minutes will be incredibly powerful for you and will give you lots of incredible steps to take in the process of regaining control over your beautiful, precious life. Thanks again and have an amazing day. Bye.